Welcome to the Uprise Postgame show. I'm not even going to give an intro right now. I'm pissed. I'm absolutely pissed off right now. Typical Blazers to blow a lead. I got to turn off my volume. Typical Blazers to blow a lead. Yep. When Anthony hit that three, I had flashbacks to Nick Stauskas hitting that go-ahead three against the Washington Wizards. What did we do there? We completely lost Washington on the defensive possession, gave them a wide-open three. What did we just do to Philadelphia when we're up two? We completely lose a shooter only. He's a shooter only. That's all Korkmaz can do. We lose him wide open in the corner. First off, why are we guarding the inbounds? Why are we guarding the inbounds? Ben Simmons is 6'10". Putting somebody on the inbounds is not going to affect the inbound. Okay? That's my first question with Terry Stotts on that last play. Why are we guarding the inbounds? Second, why aren't we switching? You switched the last possession. They don't have time to inbounds the ball and pass again, so it doesn't matter if you're mismatched. You switch. Terry had that play happen right in front of his eyes. He should have been telling Tolliver, okay, you're staying corner. And Dame, I think, was guarding the guy up top. Okay, Dame is staying up top. If they run somebody off, you switch. Okay, you don't try and trail a guy through a screen. I don't know what happened. I think some people might have thought switch, and Tolliver might have thought stay with his guy, and he didn't switch. I don't know. But how they're not on the same page defensively on the last possession of the game is mind-boggling to me. And what the problem with me is, this has always been a thing under Terry Stotts. It happened last year with Nick Stauskas hitting that go-ahead three, and then us losing track of, I think it was like Bradley Beal or something. I don't remember. We completely lost track of a three-point shooter, left them completely wide open. How does our defense falter on the line? When the game's on the line, how does our defense falter that bad? I don't understand that at all, man. The last 2 minutes was absolutely horrible. I know we lost Hood. I'll talk about that in a little bit, but we were playing not to lose. Did we run one set the last 2.5 minutes of that game? We literally stood at half court, sitting with the ball until it was time to try and get a shot up because the shot clock was winding down. So then we had to force some terrible shot where we turn the ball over, ball would be going the other way. Why don't we run a set? Why do we even have a head coach if he's not able to call and get us to run one set in the last 2 minutes of the game? That was ridiculous, man. We're playing not to lose, and then we lose because we can't even guard an inbounds play with 2 seconds left. What sucks about it, too, is Anthony should have had his first game winner, man. Anthony should have had his first game winner. And we spoiled it with whatever the hell just happened on that last possession. It was Wall last year? I don't believe it was Wall. Maybe it was Wall. Somebody was wide open. Before anyone says it's just one game, it's one game we threw away. Those games come back to bite us at the end of the year. There's going to be a difference of a couple games between like 2nd and 7th in the Western Conference. We have to win games with how our injuries are looking if we want home court advantage. We have to win games like this, games where we're up 19. Yet, we always give up 19-point leads because once we get up 19, we play not to lose. We play super slow. We play super conservative. And honestly, that's kind of on Dame a little bit, but that's also on Terry Stotts, man. That's one of my complaints about Terry Stotts coached teams is that when they get up 19, they immediately start playing super passive on offense. They immediately start playing as if they have a 20-point lead. And when you play as if you have a 20-point lead, you lose a 20-point lead. Okay, you got to keep doing what got you that 20-point lead. But once we get up 19-20, we immediately just take the air out of the ball and we struggle to get good shots. And, oh man, dude, it's the same thing. It's the same thing every single year. It's the same problems. I wish we could fix these things. I know a lot of people think Terry Stotts is a great coach, but he hasn't improved on any of these things, man. We expect improvement out of our players. Where's the improvement out of our coach? Also, why wasn't Skal playing down the stretch? Skal played great. He was our only rim protector. We took him out at the start of the 4th quarter, and in 5 possessions, Philadelphia got 5 easy shots within 5 feet of the rim. Why did we take Skal out? If we left Skal in for those 2 minutes, we win this game. It was mind-boggling to me that we took Skal out. After the first 3 layups or so, Terry Stotts called a timeout. Philadelphia had gotten the lead to 4, and it was obvious that they were getting easy shots inside because we had no size. Anthony Tolliver was playing center. He's 6'8". He can't get off the floor. He's a horrible rim protector. After that timeout, Terry Stotts still did not sub in Skal Labissiere, and then they got 2 more easy shots inside, and then he finally subs Labissiere back in, and then our defense immediately looks a little bit better. And then once there's like 4 minutes left, Skal goes out again. Al Horford ends up getting, wide open drives to the rim. We have no rim protection whatsoever. Why he took Skal out is beyond me. It's so ridiculous. I know we're thin on bigs, but come on. I'm gonna tune into chat because I'm very frustrated right now. In case you guys can't tell. God, man. Over 6'9" players are all injured. Why don't we play the one player that's over 6'9" then? We're not even starting him in the first place, so why not play him 2 minutes to start the fourth quarter? Like, why? I'm going to go look at the minutes for Skal tonight, because Skal played great. Okay, he struggled a bit on the boards, but nobody was trying to help him. He was battling with Kyle Quinn, who's a really good rebounder. Hezonja wasn't really helping him on the boards. The guards weren't really crashing the boards either. It was literally Skal battling against 3 76ers, and he was trying his best. Sometimes a guy like that needs a little bit of help. Skal Labissiere played 23 minutes, had 15 points, was a +3. Meanwhile, the rest of our bench was Ken Bazemore, -18. Anthony Simons played good, but -10. So he was the best player on our bench by far. Anthony Tolliver, a -9. Anthony Tolliver played 27 minutes. He hit a couple threes, but why is Anthony Tolliver playing 27 minutes? Skal is only getting 23 when Skal's playing great, man. That's why I made this video a couple of days ago where I said Skal Labissiere needs more minutes. Especially now that, we miss a game with Whiteside. He's our only big. He's our only guy that can legitimately play center and actually has a chance of protecting the rim. So why is he only playing 23 minutes? I know he had 4 fouls, but that doesn't excuse him not playing during the stretch run. That doesn't excuse Terry not playing him to start the fourth. That doesn't excuse Terry not playing him to end the game. Dame Dalla, I'm sorry about your friend being a Sixers fan, man. Zach Calipano says, also Stotts coaching in crunch time was terrible. But that's, you know what, man? A lot of Blazer fans will clown me or say I'm crazy because I'm not saying, that's on the players. They just held the ball too much. Well, the coach should be calling a set and getting them to run some offense. And if they fail to do it once, then do some coaching, get them to run a set. If they really can't run a set, call a timeout, get them into a set. I believe we had 2 timeouts remaining. We had to use that last timeout after Korkmaz hit that 3, but dude, the coaching in crunch time was horrible. Where is the offensive structure? That's what I'm saying. When we're hitting jump shots, it looks really, really good. Hood, CJ, and Lillard got going in that third quarter, and it looked beautiful. That's the thing, is Terry Stotts' offense looks really, really good when he has wings that are hitting a bunch of shots. But those guys were just freelancing out there. Then all of a sudden, we stop hitting shots. Hood gets hurt. We're still up. All of a sudden, we're just holding on to the ball. No structure in the offense, whatever. We did not run a set the last 4 or 5 possessions. And the fact that we did not guard the 3-point line. If we give up a 2, let's go into overtime. Fine. You know what I mean? The one thing we got to do is guard the 3-point line. Why he has to play Dame and CJ in there instead of, play Hezonja. I don't think Hezonja was in on that last possession. Hezonja, Bazemore, we have good defensive wings. I don't understand why on the last defensive possession we have to play Dame and CJ when we have better defenders that end up sitting on our bench. It doesn't make much sense to me. But the fact that we let him get open on the 3-point line off that curl, you saw it coming. I knew what they were going to run when I saw the way they set up on the floor. Okay, you don't have 3 guys next to each other unless one of the guys is running off those 2 screens. So Korkmaz ran off those 2 guys straight to the corner. How do we lose a guy like that? And Terry should have been communicating before the ball was inbounded. There was time too. So they were set up in the way they were starting that play. Terry should have been communicating, okay, switch. He should have communicated that during the timeout, but when you see them setting up, you're telling Tolliver, stay corner, zone up corner. So if somebody runs to the corner like Korkmaz did, Tolliver switches on to them. But also don't guard the inbound. Have Skal kind of guard the three-point line. Simmons was going to get that ball in wherever he wanted to anyway. Have an extra defender guarding the action out there. I'm so bummed, man. Okay, so Rodney Hood, it looked like knee on knee, which is going to hurt. He might not play against Golden State. Luckily, Golden State isn't full strength either, because that's a win we need to get. Doge Gaming, I miss Mo and Chief. The thing is, those types of plays would have happened last year too with Mo and Chief, with Mo and Chief. These types of plays happen a lot. I feel like we get a lot of game winners hit against us, and a lot of times it's just absolutely awful, horrible situational defense. Like, situational basketball is my biggest complaint with Terry Stotts, and it's the number one thing he struggles with. The situational basketball up late in the fourth, where we literally just hold the ball near half court for 20 seconds of the shot clock, is ridiculous, man. That's the type of stuff you do if you're playing high school basketball in a state that has no shot clock. We got a 24-second shot clock. You got to run some offense at some point. I'm just venting to you guys because I don't miss these types of losses, man. Richard Wang, GG y'all. Y'all were shooting lights out. 99 out of 100 you win. We got lucky. I mean, we kind of lost ourselves the game. That was a good fight by the Philadelphia 76ers, but that's the type of lead that Portland has a tendency to blow. Usually they blow it before the fourth quarter. Usually it's something like the Spurs game where we get up to a 20-point lead early, and then maybe we're hitting a bunch of jump shots, and then we completely stop looking to go inside, and we shoot jump shots the next three quarters and can't make a thing and don't even look to get to the rim. But, man, we got to hold on to leads, man. Like... Last year, these losses did not happen. We would always close games. Remember Washington last year when Stauskas hit that three? And then Washington hit that game winner? I think that was in overtime, too. And I think to get into overtime, we completely lost a Wizard on a three to tie. And then in overtime, Stauskas hit that three to go up. And then they got another like wide open three or wide open layup or something. Just awful clutch time defense. Man. No, I'm not going to talk trades. Lillard too clutch. Not talking trades right now, man. And definitely not CJ, because that's not something that's going to happen. That's not even hypothetically possible. We wouldn't even be able to trade him until like January or February because we just signed him to an extension. So I heard about Zach. I'll make a video on it. I expect him to be out like 30 to 40 games, so I expect him to return January. Eric Brandt says, I charted the possessions after Skal left at 4:45 if you want it. Yeah, I do want it. Do you want to hop in a Skype call? Because I can get you in a Skype call. I kind of just went live right away. I'm going to see if I can get my man Eric on, because I'm curious to see these possessions after Skal left the game at 4:45. Because I did pay attention. There was 5 offensive possessions for Philadelphia with Skal out to begin the fourth quarter. They were all 5-foot shots. That team doesn't shoot well, so leave the rim protection in, because that's where they're trying to score. They're trying to score. Having Tolliver as center, they're going to score in the paint. They're good at scoring in the paint, but they couldn't really hit an outside shot. Stream might freeze up a little bit because I'm opening up Skype. Sixers fan talking about us giving up a 21-point lead and how they didn't have Embiid playing. Well, we didn't have Hassan Whiteside, Zach Collins, Pau Gasol, and Yusuf Nurkic. So, and Embiid did that to himself. So I don't want to hear that crap. We got guys going down with injuries left and right. We might have won that game if you guys didn't mess up Rodney Hood with a cheap illegal screen that Ben Simmons set that didn't get called. Okay, so he got knocked out of the game too. So that's 5 front court players. So I don't want to hear about Embiid getting not being available for this game because he can't keep his temper in check and started swinging on a dude and then mouthing off on social media. That's what Embiid does. So I'm not trying to hear, oh, we didn't have Embiid playing. We didn't have 5 front court players at the end of this game. So, no. We owned you guys last year, too. We owned you guys last year. With Whiteside, we win this game by 15. Okay? But that's the thing, too, is a lot of people will say, oh, well, look at who Stotts didn't have. He didn't have Whiteside. He didn't have, he didn't have Zach Collins. He didn't have these guys, so it's not his fault. He still needs to play the one rim protector we have left. He still needs to coach situational basketball. Dude, these headphones are rough. These headphones are rough right now, man. I mean, I'm not worried. I wish we played in the Eastern Conference because Blazers would have a legit chance to make it to the NBA Finals. I think they could easily beat the 76ers in a 7-game series, especially when we make that upgrade at the trade deadline that I think we'll make. Imagine talking crap to a team that choked a lead and you guys had a scrub hit a game-winning shot when we're missing 4 of our big men and handed them the game. Nah, 76er fans weak for that. But that's what they do, man. That's how their fan base is. I ain't trying to hear none of that. All right, got my headphones figured out. I'm going to call my man Eric. Stream's probably going to freeze up for a little bit. Do we bring up Moses Brown? I think so. Oh, I'm not meaning to video call him. Torrey getting heated. Yeah. Dude, I take these losses it's tough, man. It's as tough on me as you guys for sure. That's the thing. I'm a diehard fan, man. This platform is by a diehard fan. You guys can tell because I'm heated, man. All right, we got Eric here in call. You hear me, Eric?
Yeah, you hear me?
Yep, you're on the stream, man. So let me just hear you rant, because I know you're heated too. I know you get heated like me when crap like that happens, and that was absolute crap.
Dude, I'm so mad. 21-point lead at home. I don't care who you're missing. You can't blow that lead. So,
hey, Dame Dollar just said, knowing Stotts, he would have pulled Whiteside out in crunch time. True, because that's what Stotts is doing.
So
that's
when Skal went out at 4:45, I was like, screw this. He's been getting Dame wide open threes every possession. Like, why would you take him out right there? So I started charting the shots after that.
Mm-hmm.
And so he went out when Bazemore was shooting free throws, and Baze missed both of those free throws, which sucked.
Yeah.
Then Harris goes down and gets a lay-in.
Lay-in.
Bazemore turnover.
Bazemore was rough down the stretch.
That was the one, I think, where he threw it baseline. He tried to throw a baseline sloppy pass. So many sloppy passes. You cannot throw sloppy passes against teams like that play the passing lanes.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So we got that layup by Harris, first possession offensively for the Sixers after Skal Labissiere went out.
So Bazemore had the turnover. Then Richardson hits a three.
Okay.
That's when CJ got those 2 free throws. And we were in the bonus with, I charted this too. We were in the bonus with 7:16 left in the fourth and shot 4 free throws, 2 of which were the 2 Bazemore misses, and then those 2 by CJ. That's it.
Yeah, it wasn't even the Bazemore misses. Wasn't that like off a loose ball too? or the CJ. One of those was off a loose ball, so that's 2 free throws maybe where we're being aggressive. They were playing physical. We were getting foul calls. That's why they were in the bonus in the first place with 7 minutes left, but we were playing offense not to lose. That's how Terry Stotts plays offense when he gets a double-digit lead or when he has like a 6-point lead with 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And honestly, it loses us a lot of games unless Dame is able to like do what Dame does and hit some crazy shots, or maybe the other team defends the pick and roll bad and Dame's able to get a 3 on that. Literally, it's just like a good defensive team just shuts us down in crunch time because we just take our foot off the gas. But it's not even from a player standpoint. It's like literally we're not calling any sets.
Nope.
And we don't have sets that like get us attacking the rim in the first place, so we're not able to take advantage of the fact that Philadelphia is in foul trouble.
It's like take it into the defense and make them call fouls. If they don't, that's going to like eventually they have to call something. But you have to be aggressive, but we weren't. We were just throwing lazy passes and so mad. So anyways, so then their possession was what they got a couple offensive rebounds but missed, and it got tipped out to Dame. And then he threw it to Bazemore, and Bazemore traveled, but he laid it in, and they didn't call it. So we went up 7 there after the CJ free throws and the Baze layup. And then we got a stop, and then there was that Tolliver crazy two-handed reverse that he missed. I don't know what that was.
I mean, it would have been nice if it went in, but that's not really his game.
Yep. Then Harris layup on the other end to cut it to 5. Dame turnover that led to the Simons dunk to cut the lead to 3. Bazemore missed like running layup that wasn't close to going in. And then we got a stop, but then that was when Dame tried to rifle that pass to cutting CJ with like 1 second left on the shot clock. Then Horford got a wide open dunk. So cut it to 1. CJ missed the 3, and then
that Horford wide open dunk. It was like, wow, we are so soft inside. Dude just catch the ball in 3-point line, just goes right down the lane. No help whatsoever. Skal wouldn't have let that happen to him, and Skal would have made that difficult for him. Skal's defense has been good this year.
We lost control on off ball players so often in this game. Like that was probably half their points was just us falling asleep on the backside.
Yeah,
and
which is why you need a rim protector to cover for those mistakes on the perimeter where guys are able to get inside. They had like almost 80 points in the paint.
Yep.
But I guarantee you, the rate at which they were scoring points in the paint was a lot lower with Skal in the game.
Mm-hmm.
It drove me crazy how I don't know. Let me know if you had these same feelings, because start of the fourth quarter, 3 straight layups for Philadelphia because Skal was out of the game and we're soft inside. Terry Stotts calls timeout. And I'm like, okay, he realized, okay, I need to put Skal in the game because they're going to get a bunch of buckets inside. They just got 3 in a row inside. I got to put Skal back in the game. And he didn't put Skal back in the game.
And then when he did, Dame went crazy. Like he was getting 3 after 3. But yeah, so anyways, that's when Simmons had the 2 free throws on the foul. And then, of course, we know Simons hits the shot, and then we leave Korkmaz open. So just our possessions after CJ went out, or Skal went out at 4:45. Turnover, 2 free throws, a layup, missed shot by Tolliver, turnover, missed layup, turnover, missed 3, and then Simons 3. We didn't get one good shot that whole time.
We didn't even run offense. That's the thing. If Terry Stotts is calling sets and it's like a good set design and they're playing good defense against it and we're not getting good shots against it, I'm not blaming Terry Stotts. People try to make it like I'm just looking for things to blame Terry Stotts of. If we're running sets and it's good set design and we're not getting good shots, then that happens. And okay, credit to Philadelphia. They're playing defense. When we stand at half court and sit there and just don't do anything if we can't get Dame the ball and then are unable to do anything unless Dame is able to go 1-on-2. Like, where's the coaching in that?
Yeah, so we talked in the past about how, like, when the pick and roll, when they're trapping Dame and he's not getting the ball out of there to the slip guy, that we should stop running pick and roll. But in this game, he was hitting Skal on those slips all the time, and when Skal set a good pick, it was leaving Dame wide open for 3. Like, it was working this game.
Yeah.
So games where it doesn't work, we stick with it till the end, and then this game it is working, and we stop doing it with 5 minutes left in the game. Like I'm so perplexed on why that is. Like,
dude, I just saw a tweet. Somebody referenced this tweet about its references our defensive coverage on that last play, and this is a credit to why I don't like Stotts. Somebody tweeted at Anthony Tolliver, said, literally the easiest switch of your life, Anthony Tolliver 44. Anthony Tolliver replied saying, that wasn't the game plan, dude.
Huh. So
what team doesn't switch? There's 2 seconds left.
2 seconds left. We're not switching.
You're talking about 3 wings setting those screens, and you're not switching with 2 seconds left? That's not the game plan? Are you kidding me?
So what would be the point of not switching that? Because Horford was going up top, right? He was,
yeah.
Like, it'd be one thing maybe I could see if he was going to post up and they were going to throw it into the post to get a quick little shot. I think Karl-Anthony Towns beat us on a little hook shot like that over in Munu one game a couple years ago. But Horford's going straight to the top of the key. There's no reason to switch. If he makes a tough three-pointer with a guard in his face, like you just got to give it to him. There's no excuse for not switching that. And if Stotts told them not to switch, that's freaking ridiculous.
And people will blame Anthony Tolliver
right
for not switching instead of blaming the coach, because there's so many people out there that are scared to criticize Terry Stotts. And that's why I'm even more vocal, because people are so scared to criticize this coach. They think he's some terrific coach. But you're not switching with 2 seconds left on an inbounds play. That's why we always get burnt. They're going to run screens. They don't have time to catch and take advantage of a mismatch. You just have to be there on the catch.
And
my goodness, man.
I know their defense is improved and we're shorthanded right now, but yeah, I never understood. We always leave Dame and CJ in for defensive possessions with a few seconds left, and I never understand why.
I said that. Yeah, I said that at the start of this live stream. Why are we playing Dame and CJ on defense? It's one defensive possession that we have to get a stop, and the clock will wind out. I think Bazemore might have been on the bench, or Hazonia. Those were our 2 best perimeter defenders, because we had Labissiere guarding the ball. We had, Ben Simmons is going to get that pass in anyway.
Yeah. And if they throw it back
Tolliver
to him, if they throw it back to Simmons and he hits his first NBA 3, then fuck that. That's fine. Sorry.
You're good. You're good. I don't care, honestly. If I get demonetized, screw it. That's all that'll happen. This is a live stream where you can cuss. I don't care because I'm pissed.
But yeah, if they pass it back to Simmons and he hits his first NBA 3, then fine, you live with that. But you don't need to guard him there. He's not gonna be able to cut and get the ball back in time to make a shot. So I don't understand.
Yeah,
it's just I'm so just confused. It's like basic, simple basketball things, and I don't understand how an NBA team can't even freaking do it.
All right, I got to. I'm not on my actual Uprise account. I gotta kick the Sixers fan trolling against a team who had 5 forwards out to end the game. That's the thing, though. That'll be the excuse. They had 5 forwards out. All right, hide user on this channel. All right, bye, Shannon Brown. You bother my subscribers, you're gone.
It was also it was so awesome to see Simons hit that shot too, and God.
And it got ruined. Got ruined. I had a feeling I got so excited because, especially because it was Anthony hitting clutch 3, should be his first game winner, and then I'm like, wait, watch, they're gonna Stauskas this, like that Stauskas play against Washington last year.
Yeah,
they're gonna ruin this with something.
But there was, Dame was not.
But
a lot of times Dame can get around whoever is guarding him, but he wasn't getting. They were having a guy spy on him, and kind of like what Golden State did in the playoffs last year, so that he wasn't getting good shots once he stopped getting picks when he was going one-on-one. So you just got to stop doing it. I don't understand why we just keep doing stuff that's not working. And then we're up 21 in the third quarter. It's so frustrating. We had them beat.
Dude, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. God, that's what I hate, man, cuz like post-game show, those guys aren't going to criticize Stotts for that. Radio guys, like, I love Chad Doing, I love Travis Demers, but I don't know if, Travis Demers now, he works for the Blazers, so I don't know if he can even, like, if they'd even let him have some, criticism or maybe even constructive feedback or even question Terry Stotts, but, dude, like, none of those guys are going to question Terry Stotts.
See,
the thing is, like, and if I go on there, if I went on the fifth quarter, Chad Doing's post-game show where you can call in, and I was like, don't you think it's ridiculous that on an inbounds play with 2 seconds left when the defense is up by 2 that you're not going to switch screens with defenders who are about the same size against 3 wing players? Don't you think it's ridiculous that you wouldn't switch screens? Like that that's horrible situational coaching by Stotts. I'd get ran off the show,
Yep.
Oh, don't question Stotts. Stotts is a great coach. Like, Stotts has done so much with this team.
So, right before Skal went out, I wrote down, Skal's growing up. He's setting great picks. He and Simons just need to be in these type of games and learn.
Mm-hmm.
And so not only did we not let him learn, but we freaking blew the game on top of it. Like it's one thing if you blow that game, if you go down because you tried to get the young guys crunch time experience or something. I could maybe see that, but you don't take out a player that's playing that well. I just don't understand. And it's, like you mentioned earlier at the beginning, it's not like he played crazy minutes or something. He had what did you say, 23 minutes?
Yeah. I mean, he had 4 fouls, so I that's the thing. Is he had 4 fouls at the start, or I think he had did he have 4 fouls at the start of the fourth quarter? He might have only had 3. I don't know. It just made no sense to not play him. And it's like, if Terry Stotts was holding him out the first 2.5 minutes of the fourth quarter because he had 4 fouls, then that makes no sense why you'd hold him out there just to not play him in crunch time. You don't hold guys out unless you're trying to save them for crunch time.
Did he?
So that can't be an excuse for him.
Did he finish with 4 fouls?
Finished with 4 fouls.
He had one with 7 something left in the fourth, so he only had.
Okay, so he had 3. Yeah, that's not an excuse for Stotts.
Yep.
Oh, man. That was so frustrating, dude. I came on this live stream and I went off. I don't even care.
I was listening, yeah. I heard you. And
I mean, it's all true, man. It's all true. I only come on here and I speak the truth, more than a lot of, I don't want to take shots at media members, man, but they don't want to criticize Stotts. Even if there was something to criticize Stotts for, they don't want to.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're too scared to, or they know that a lot of Blazer fans think Terry Stotts is a good coach, so they know a lot of people wouldn't agree with him. I'm going to come on here and speak my truth, and I'm going to try and explain things in a way where people can see my point of view.
Well,
I played high school basketball. I played college basketball. I've studied the game. I know the game. I've charted our sets. I've put in a lot of work into understand the game of basketball, and people try and act like I'm crazy for criticizing things. And that, that happened last game. I had some criticism for Stotts, and people were giving me crap. And I even tweeted out, why is Skal not in the game? And, Reed Newcomer, who's a, guy who watches the channel, he disagrees with me. Did that rolling eye emoji, and it's we just gave up 5 lanes in a row once Skal came out of the game because we have no rim protection. The team let off the gas. Okay, sure.
Yeah, and like you always say with the sets and stuff. So the only reason why we're winning that game is because we're hitting a lot of threes. It's not like we're doing anything special. We just started hitting threes and got a big lead. And in the first half, when the second unit came in, they just started playing one-on-one. There was no ball movement, and then they started turning the ball over and stuff, and they let the 76ers back in the game. And then, but there were times where the ball movement was great. There was one play in particular where Dame had an open 3, and he passed to Hood because he had the hot hand, and he had a 3 in the corner. Loved that kind of ball movement. And that was a 15-0 run, all threes, I think. And then so Hood's on fire right after that, So you got to keep feeding him, right? That's basketball,
Yeah,
right?
we went away from him.
So CJ goes ISO twice in a row after that.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
like Hood had a couple of nice moves where he's almost unguardable when he's confident and he thinks he
Mm-hmm.
has a mismatch.
Yeah.
Like we should just go to him every time, like because he creates on his own.
I mean,
Like
we should have two. We should have 2-3 sets that are designed for Rodney Hood. That gets Rodney Hood in a spot where he's good.
yeah,
It gets Rodney Hood with the ball, maybe like mid range against a switched guard. Screen his defender with a guard, and if they switch, then you get Rodney Hood coming across the key for a post up where he's good punishing smaller guards. Have him running off a pin down curl, and like when he gets hot, start running these sets for Rodney Hood. When a guy gets hot like that, you gotta like make the most of it because he was in such a rhythm that he was hitting pretty much anything he got. And we go away from him for iso ball. That's what I'm talking about with the lack of structure from Portland's offense. That's what I'm talking about with the lack of structure from Terry Stotts on offense. Is a guy gets smoking hot, and we don't have sets where we can run to get him the ball in good spots, and so CJ goes iso ball twice in a row.
yeah. And then he had that nice play where they took away kind of a shot in the middle and he went up and under and had a lay in. Like he has a whole arsenal of moves. Like there's no reason to not keep feeding him in those situations. I just don't get it. And the same thing happened both halves. So first half that happened and we went away from him. Second half, same thing. And I wrote down, hello, we forgot about Hood when the Sixers went on a run like late in the third quarter. It's just like, it's just so frustrating. Like, playing basketball that when someone's that hot, I mean, he was like 9 of 11 or something at one point. I forgot what he finished with, but like, he wasn't missing shots. Like, you got to get him the ball. Like, he's got a mismatch. His arms, he's like so long, he can get a shot off over almost anyone. So when he's making them, you just keep giving it to him and ride it. Like, there was a play. I don't mean to pick on CJ that much, but there was a play where he got a pick and roll from Tolliver. It was a pick and pop, and Tolliver was both defenders went with CJ, and Tolliver standing wide open at the top of the key of the 3-point line, just waving his arms like no one's within 10 feet of him, and CJ takes like a 15-foot jumper with a double team on him, and he made it, but it's just not the right basketball play, and it's what drives me crazy is.
I mean, once those shots over the course of a season, the average on that shot, Tolliver shooting a wide open 3 would be better than CJ shooting a contested 2. Even though I'm not high on Tolliver, that's the truth. Like, CJ shooting a contested 2, even if he makes 50% of them, that's still going to be a worse shot statistically than Anthony Tolliver shooting 34%, which I think he could shoot on wide open 3s. That's the thing. CJ calls his number for tough, difficult mid-range shots, and I know he's a great mid-range shooter, but he doesn't pick his spots well enough. He could be such an amazing player. He could be maybe a top 15 player in the league if he knew when to pick his spots. He knew the right pass to make at the right time. So that's the thing. Like, CJ... picking on CJ, but he deserves it because this is something that he hasn't really improved the last few years. I actually think it's gotten a bit worse. And, there's people that talk about, oh, look at all this stuff he's doing in the offseason. And I kind of wonder, like, okay, how much is he actually trying to improve these facets of his game during the offseason? Because when the season rolls around, we don't see any improvement.
Well, all you see of his offseason is like him going iso ball like he does, playing rec league games, shooting crazy shots, and it's edited, obviously, so they only show the ones he makes. But, yeah, he was 6 for 15 tonight, 0 for 4 from 3. But, yeah, it's just – we've talked about this before, but if he just uses his ability to draw a double team or sometimes triple team to get open shots for guys, that would open up a whole new level for this offense. If we're going to play the way we do, he's got to be able to do that. And I mean, if we're not going to run sets, you have to hit the open guys when you get double.
Yeah.
But it's just frustrating. God, I'm so mad.
Dude, I feel bad for Anthony Tolliver, man. I mean, like, the dude's not going to say that wasn't the game plan if he made a mistake and didn't switch. Like, the game plan was to not switch. And, like, it looks like Tolliver's fault, man. Like, it should have been the switch. God, and I feel bad. Like, he's going to get the blame. Like, He had to defend himself on Twitter, and he immediately did that. You know what? I bet you he was like, I bet you he knew that the right play there was to switch.
Yeah.
But, he probably didn't, he listened to coach. All right, I won't switch. Guy gets wide open in the corner, and then he's taking heat for it on Twitter. When he probably knew that the right decision was to switch. Right. I mean, nobody's going to say anything public against Stotts, but...
And once again, why would the right decision ever be to leave someone wide open for a 3 and stay with someone who's in a jumbled mess with a lot of players and isn't going to get a good shot off? I just don't understand what the strategy was. Because if they switch and Dame's on Horford, they throw it into Horford. He's got to take a 3-point shot or back him down with 2 seconds left with Dame on him, up in his face. It wouldn't have been a good shot. If he makes it, then you live with it, right? But I just don't understand giving a shooter a wide open shot in that situation. It makes me mad because we should be sitting here talking about how we escaped. We are 4-2. That's all that matters. And
Anthony Simons hit his first career game winner.
Simons, think about how much that's going to help his confidence. And Skal played big minutes. He's going to be also getting a big boost here with having to play. It's just so frustrating because we should be talking about all this positive stuff, and instead we just gave the game away. And a lot of that was just Thibault. He's only on the floor to get in the passing lanes and get steals. You cannot throw lazy passes when he's around. He just gobbles those up, and it's just ridiculous how careless we were with the basketball in the second half against a team like that that's struggling to score. And we just let them have easy bucket after easy bucket. It was frustrating.
Yeah. Dude, I want to hear Terry Stotts' post-game comments. If the media doesn't ask him about the game plan on that last shot...
Oh, they won't.
Because they're too scared to. But you know what? Maybe that's the organization. The organization would take away their press credentials if they ask such a hard-hitting question like that.
Here's the thing, though. They're people are asking if we should, get rid of Stotts, all this stuff.
Solar Money thinks we're overreacting. No, it's the same problems that plagued us every year. Hopefully you've listened to this whole stream, so maybe you can... No, we're not overreacting, man. It's the same problems.
Yeah, but we're not going to get... They're not going to fire Stotts. They're not going to do it. So.
I'm not sitting here saying fire Stotts. I would have fired him 2 years ago, okay? But we made the Western Conference Finals on the back of Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum playing absolutely great, and now people are like, oh, look, we made the Western Conference Finals with him. It's not because of him.
Yeah, and Dame once again goes supernova for a while tonight, and that's the only reason why we didn't blow our lead sooner. Actually might have been less painful if we did that, but God.
Yeah.
But we're not. We like you mentioned earlier, we can't trade CJ until January 30th, so he's not getting traded. We wouldn't have signed him to an extension if there was any possibility of trading him. We're obviously not. Dame's not going anywhere, even if he wanted to leave. He's stuck here for 6 years now. And Stotts isn't getting fired. He just got an extension this offseason. And also, Olshey got an extension this offseason. So none of those 4 are going anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. He just said no, but we shouldn't fire him. That's what I mean. I know the problems and I see them. The thing is, man, almost any time I criticize Stotts, I always get hit with oh, you're overreacting, or you're not an NBA coach, so you don't know what you're talking about. Or, the same people that didn't, ever have a chance of playing college basketball, didn't get to even play on that level. It's okay, I could turn the tables and say, I could be an asshole and say, I played college basketball. What did you play? What do you know? But I'm not like that, because people that haven't played college basketball still can watch basketball, still can learn the game, and still can know their stuff. You know what I mean? Some people that never played organized basketball at all really know the game of basketball and really know their stuff. So just because I'm not an NBA coach doesn't mean that, I'm just a hater or I don't know what I'm talking about. And just because I'm criticizing Stotts doesn't mean I'm overreacting. So the only problem I had with that was that you said it was an overreaction, because I don't think it's an overreaction. We just blew a game we should have had. That could change our seeding at the end of the year. That could change our playoff run. every game is important, especially this year in the jam-packed Western Conference. So giving away games like this because of absolutely piss-poor coaching, games that we could have won, a game that would have been a huge confidence booster going forward for our banged-up team, for Anthony Simons hitting a game winner, like, this game was so important to hold on to not give up a score on that last possession. And they inbound the ball with 2 seconds left, and we're not switching. I don't know how to explain like how much. Yeah, I don't know how to explain to people that like, I don't know how to explain how that's such a cardinal sin of a coach to not have your defense switching with 2 seconds left.
And then here's the problem. So,
I mean, let me just say this. Yeah. Remember Dame's game winner against Houston in the playoffs? Yeah. They should have switched.
Yep.
The fact that they didn't switch, Dame got wide. If they switched, Dame probably doesn't get that shot. We might lose that series in 2014 if they just decide to switch on the last possession, because we would have been going to Game 7 at Houston. They didn't switch. They screwed up. And McCollum got blasted for that after that game.
Mm-hmm.
Blasted. You always switch in that situation.
Yep.
You always just stay attached to guys, make the catch difficult, and then make them make a contested shot. And the only way you can stay attached to 5 guys is by switching screens instead of trying to fight through everything.
Well, they even said that on the broadcast. Lamar Hurd's like, in this situation, you just put out 5 guys and you say switch all picks.
Yeah. Did he say that before the play happened?
He said it before the play happened, and then he's like, after he was like, well, yeah, it's kind of confusing that they didn't switch, but
yeah. And if Lamar Hurd is like questioning it, that is 100% legitimate.
Yep.
I mean, Lamar Hurd is probably sitting there like, what in the world?
Yeah.
If somebody can get me Stotts' quote in a post-game conference or like a link to something.
It's on the Blazers YouTube, but my computer's not good enough to watch it while I'm doing this. But here's the problem. So they announced Zach Collins is having surgery, right?
Yeah.
And he's going to be out for a while. You're thinking, right? Probably. I mean, best case scenario, at least a month, probably, right? I don't even know. It's probably going to be longer than that, though, right? And then we have this tough stretch still of the first 20 games that we're only a few games into, and then Hassan's hobbled right now. Nurkic isn't coming back anytime soon. Gasol we still don't know about. And you have to win games like this, because then now it's going to just compile. Now, like, instead of 4-2, like I said, we're 3-3, and we're 0-2 at home, which is not good. But like these just have trickle down effects. And now, like, games like Monday against Golden State, which should be like an easy win considering we were flying high after beating the Sixers and OKC and stuff, and now it's like, oh crap, we better win this game, and then people start to grip, and then it trickles down, and every game becomes more important now. And if you cannot survive, if we fall too far below 500, but by the time Zach gets back and Nurk gets back, it's not even going to matter how we're doing,
Yeah. Yeah.
So frustrating.
Yeah, I'm looking for maybe a Stotts like written quote, because I don't know what I can play on here and what can't. Oh, I need a... Okay, I'm going to search Twitter.
I think Brian Scalabrine was saying the example of Dame's game winner against Houston.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. Kevin McHale, yeah. Yeah, I mean... I've watched a lot of it. That's the thing. I pay attention, man. Like, I've watched, and I've seen it before where teams not switching that situation have absolutely burned them. And I've seen teams switch consistently, seen teams switch in that situation and lock up the offense.
Man, we gave Tobias Harris just running lanes to the basket all the game too. Like, someone stay in front of him, between him and the basket. Yeah.
All right, I'm searching Stotts on Twitter.
I have a problem with Bazemore fouling so much too. Like, he's always fouling. And he's always like, it's kind of like Wes Matthews. Like, Wes used to always get called for, like, kind of a questionable foul, but then he'd always complain about it. But he'd always do it. Like, every game he'd get called for, like, questionable fouls. And at some point, you just got to stop like reaching in and stuff. And I know that's part of his game, but he just fouls way too much, gets us in the penalty early in the quarters, and
yeah.
I mean, the free throw discrepancy didn't really kill us tonight, but we should have gotten more aggressive in the fourth, like I said, and got more free throws.
Yeah. So there's a page called Positive Residual. It's at Presidual. The bio for this page says sports analytics and strategy, creating tools for winning teams in basketball, baseball, and soccer. Contributions, nylon calculus, clean the glass, and the ringer. So this page knows what it's talking about. It's having a conversation with B-Ball Breakdown, which is a very, very popular YouTube channel which breaks down NBA games and breaks down like stuff like in-depth analysis. The guy knows his stuff. So these two pages going back and forth that know their summit on switches here, saying only that Dame got hit with a good screen and made a nice effort to try to recover. Of course, I also don't think he'd single out Tolliver. I don't think Tolliver's lying. I don't know why Tolliver would lie.
Right.
And if you can't get your guys on the same page that it's to switch the screen coming out of that timeout, because that's the thing is, man, he's been around basketball so long. That's what you do in that situation. So it's not hard to get guys on the same page. And if guys weren't on the same page to switch, which was the obvious defense to play, I blame Stotts for that. Like, how do you not get your guys on the same page to switch? So even if, like, Tolliver screwed up, I still think that's on Stotts. Like, how do you, like, you must not be communicating well enough if a 34-year-old, longtime NBA veteran isn't knowing to switch there. Also, like, why was he even out there instead of, like, I think Hezonja wasn't on the floor.
Right.
Either Hezonja or Bazemore wasn't on the floor because Labissiere was there, Tolliver was there, CJ was there, and Dame was there. Oh, I'm seeing the footage right now. Yeah, Hezonja wasn't. Why wasn't Hezonja on the floor? He was a much better defender than Tolliver. Skal was guarding the inbounder for some reason. Why wasn't Hezonja on the floor? But anyway, why was CJ was out there instead of Hezonja? Tolliver was out there instead of Hezonja. Okay, that's a mistake by Stotts. And then, like, if Tolliver didn't get the memo, I still blame Stotts, because how do you not get five guys on the same page on the last possession of defense running a switching defense, which everybody knows is what you run there. And if Stotts didn't have them switching, then that's on Stotts, because the way he responded to this question, saying that, oh, well, Dame got hit with a good screen and tried to recover. Well, that's why you switch.
Right. It's Al Horford. He sets good picks.
God, dude.
So Tolliver is obviously not in Terry's doghouse, right? He's getting minutes. Yeah. He's getting lots of minutes this season, probably playing more than most of us think he should, right? So What does he have to gain by basically saying it was the coach's thing, right? If anything, he should be like, oh, I screwed up. My bad. Like, and then he would keep his minutes.
Or just don't say anything. If he screwed up, he probably wouldn't say anything.
Right. Yeah. Don't respond at all. But the fact that he threw him under the bus means to me that he was telling the truth, and he was mad about it too, because he's going to get called out on it, like you said. And so he wouldn't have done that if he was caring about his playing time and like all that stuff. Because like, vets are savvy. They know not to say stuff like that if it's not true. I don't have any reason to believe why he would lie about that. And obviously Stotts saying that Dame fought through and had a good contest anyway. Like, no, he didn't.
Oh my God. Okay, so B-Ball Breakdown responded to that tweet and said, hard to fathom that they wouldn't have told them to switch everything.
Right.
This is like the number one guy breaking down stuff on YouTube. This guy knows his stuff. He regularly interviews NBA athletes. Like, this dude's channel is absolutely legit. The guy who runs this channel is named Coach Nick. A lot of people watching this have probably heard of this channel. And he's sitting here saying, it's hard to fathom they wouldn't have told them to switch everything. If they didn't, woo boy. Like, if they didn't tell them to switch everything, then woo boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but us, these Blazer fans want to act like I'm crazy, man. God, it pisses me off. It's the one thing I can't stand is somebody that, I don't know, man. I'm not even gonna go into that.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to go into that, man. I'm just super, super frustrated right now, like a lot of Blazer fans are, and it's bad coaching once again. And I wish there wasn't coaching to complain about.
Well, the other thing is, too,
I wish Stotts would just take care of things.
You know me pretty well. Most of the channel probably doesn't, but I'm pretty favorable towards Olshey for the most part.
Yeah.
But what's going on? Why are we not adding a big to this roster, whether it be calling up Moses Brown or signing someone with that extra roster spot? What's the point?
Agreed, man. Even Noah. I'd even be down for Noah at this point. We need rim protection.
What's the point of keeping that roster spot open? Like, isn't it so, like, if we have situations like this or we have no big men that we can sign someone that's out there? Or, like, why have Moses Brown on a two-way contract if we're not going to – like, he has 45 days. Why not bring him up now when we have this issue? And, like, later in the season, we probably won't need him. So, like, we need him now. Like, not that he would have been contributing or even he might not even seen the court. But, like, when you have Skal as your only guy over 6'9", like, that puts a lot of pressure on him not to get into foul trouble. Or if he goes down during a game, like, what are we going to do? Like, we
need that depth. We need that depth right now with all our bigs hurt. 100% agree. I want to get to this. Trevin said, Tolliver just responded to my "so Stotts is the issue" tweet by saying, "No way, Stotts is awesome." Tolliver's not going to completely throw Stotts under the bus. Okay, if that would not, I don't know, man, that would not go over well in the locker room, even if guys know that they should have been running a switching defense a lot. CJ and Dame haven't had a different coach their career. So if a veteran new guy on the team starts, saying something about Stotts, then it's going to cause issues. That's a way for Tolliver to lose his minutes by publicly criticizing the coach. So of course he's going to say, "No way, Stotts is awesome."
And all the players love Stotts because he doesn't hold them accountable very often. So
yeah, he's a player's coach, so they all love him. They're not going to criticize him. Like, I'm going to tweet back. I'm going to tweet back at this.
Yeah. I wish a guy...
I want a response. I want an explanation.
Yeah. Just say, well, how do you explain not switching at the end of a game then? But I just want a guy like, say, Hood to just come out and say, like, one time, just, man, I had it going tonight. I want the ball more, I don't know what's going on. I know it'll never happen, but
yeah,
I just, like, this team is too, like, nice to do anything like that. So frustrating because shorthanded, we should have had a win. They're celebrating the 70s tonight.
Mm-hmm. And Stotts ruins it.
And their shooting was terrible. Like, they don't have many shooters. I mean, Richardson can shoot a little bit. Thibault is terrible on the offensive end. Like, he hit 1-3 in the fourth, which sucked, but you basically don't even have to guard him. You don't have to guard Simmons. I'm not a fan of Simmons. I don't know what you think of his game, but, like, I'm not a big fan of his. And today, like, if you get him shooting kind of like fadeaways or shots where he's not going downhill at the rim, like, he's not very good at those. So I thought our game plan on Simmons was pretty good, but the rest of, like, the guys that eat us up inside, like Horford and Harris and guys like that, like, we're just getting killed. And then they were getting so many offensive rebounds, and once again, like, Skal's just down there trying to battle like three people, and it wasn't necessarily Skal's guy that was getting a lot of rebounds. Like, Kylo Quinn got a few on him, but for the most part, it was like the weak side guard that was diving in for offensive rebounds and stuff, or tipping it back out. And it's just, and it worked out in the first quarter, but I don't like starting a game that small either, especially against a team that has a big like Horford. And then on top of that, we weren't doubling Horford at all. We were just letting Tolliver go one-on-one. And then there was times where like Bazemore is guilty of this a lot so far this season, where like Hazonia had Simmons Simmons had Hazonia in the post, and Bazemore just cheats off his man to come help, and Hazonia didn't need help. He was playing fine. Like, he wasn't getting burned at all. And then we just fall asleep way too much, and I don't understand. Like, if you're watching film and getting yelled at, back in high school, like, we would be like, dude, what are you doing? Like, make fun of the guy who falls asleep on the backside like that. Like, that should be happening, and they should be getting ridiculed so they don't do that anymore, you know? Like, it's just basic basketball stuff.
And people will excuse it by saying early in the season, they got to figure things out. But that's basic basketball one-on-one, to not get back cut and not fall asleep like that. And if you make that mistake, you should be getting a little bit of ridicule for that, because that's you being lazy, or you not being mentally engaged enough and falling asleep and giving up 2 points. As we saw, 2 points is the difference in this game. We lost by 1. So, yeah, I mean, that's the thing, man. It's rough, dude. It's a rough experience. It's been rough for me dealing with Terry Stotts as a coach for the past 8 years. It's not fun. It's not fun.
So, Battle Rap Fire is like, Ben Simmons was terrible, almost a triple-double and 2 clutch free throws at the end. Stop hating, dude. I was talking about his overall game, and I mean, he was 7 of 16 from the field. He's got the ball in his hands a lot, and when you're like a 6'9.5" point guard and you're playing against a team that doesn't have a center on the floor, you should be able to get a lot of rebounds and points and stuff.
Yeah. And the thing is, man, even if we won this game, if we won this game, I'd have all the same complaints. I'd still voice them. I can't even engage with this battle rap guy right now. I know you responded to him, but I can't move past this dude.
Yeah,
I can't move past.
Well, at least we wouldn't have the not switching thing to talk about, right?
I mean, like, if Korkmaz hit that shot, I've been like, why didn't we switch there?
Yeah,
I would have questioned that.
Yep. Reading chat.
I'm a diehard Sixers fan. Then WTF are you doing here? Yeah, man. I don't know. I feel bad for Tolliver, though. He's getting heat and stuff, and it's like, it's like, if that wasn't the game plan, then you acted well on the game plan. You know what I mean? You did what you were told.
Yeah.
And you're getting heat because it was obviously you should have switched. Either you made the mistake or Stotts made the mistake. He seemed very frustrated by saying that wasn't the game plan.
Right.
Like, he responded pretty fast, and yeah.
Did you respond back to him?
I responded back to him twice. Let me read it off for the people not following me on Twitter. If you're not following me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter. I'm 2 followers away from 400, so make sure to go follow me. But he said that was the game plan, dude. And I was like, not switching on the inbound play with 2 seconds left is horrible. Sorry you're getting the blame when it should go to Stotts. And then he responded to another guy saying, not at all, Stotts is awesome. And I said, how do you explain not switching with 2 seconds left on an inbounds then? That's what you do with 2 seconds left, to protect from plays like that. I know you know that. So if the game plan was to not switch, that's a huge mistake by Stotts. I don't expect you to throw him under the bus, though.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to throw him under the bus. So,
you know what's weird?
What?
If the Blazers won a game like this, I would never even think about going and trolling like 76ers fan. I would just
fans, man.
I would just thank goodness that the Blazers pulled out a victory and stole a win. I wouldn't be like, oh,
against a
you
team
guys are trash.
With all 4 of their centers out.
Right.
Starting Anthony Tolliver and Mario Hezonja. Come on, man.
Yeah, we literally almost beat them with that lineup. I know they didn't have Embiid, but I don't think that team is that good.
My dude Adam Versive says, Blazers fans, where's the defense? Stotts. We are playing defense. It's called scoring more.
That's fine.
Battle Rap Fire says, y'all stunk on defense the fourth quarter. Yeah, that's because Skal Labissiere wasn't really in the game. You guys had those 5 easy in the paint shots with Skal Labissiere out of the game. I don't understand why he was out of the game. That was a bad substitution to bring him out of the game. And then he wasn't playing the last 4:45 either. He only played from like 9 minutes to 5 minutes left. And you notice we kind of stopped their run and we built the lead back up to around like 6 or 8. And then Skal comes out of the game and then we immediately lose it again.
Yep.
So yeah, our defense did suck.
We were up 8 when Skal went out.
And our only rim protector left. We took him out. We didn't use him. Anthony Tolliver is the starting center down the stretch against a team with Ben Simmons and Al Horford. Makes no sense.
And Tobias Harris is big too.
Hey, can we get hashtag free Skal trending on Twitter? Because we really need the free Skal, man. Skal's looking good. I'm really encouraged by the way Skal looks. I think that losing Collins, we might be better off than I would have expected because Skal is ready to step up and play minutes. I'll give you guys his stats on the season right now. Adam, oh no, if I go into another tab, the stream will freeze.
This should have been his coming out party.
He's shooting over 60%. And he's averaging over 20 points per game per 36 minutes right now. I think he's averaging 22 points per 36 minutes. He's rebounding solidly. He kind of struggled tonight, but nobody was really helping him. And dude was playing less than Anthony Tolliver.
One thing I like about him, too, is he was catching some of those low passes that the guards tend to throw to the bigs. And he was taking it up strong. He missed kind of.
Hold on, let me troll this guy back. Brian Dawkins says y'all trash. Yeah, well your Eagles ain't making the playoffs, and we're both Niners fans sitting at 8-0, and our Blazers are gonna be just fine. So try and troll me some more with that Brian Dawkins handle and that Eagles avatar because the worst team out of Blazers, Niners, 76ers, and Eagles. It's the Eagles. So, yeah, your Eagles trash. Your Sixers ain't making the finals. We owned your Sixers last year. We're missing 4 guys. You trying to talk trash, man. Play us when we're full strength. We'll wipe you again just like we did last year because your team isn't all that impressive. You're lucky you're all the way over there on the East Coast where you get those soft JV teams like the New York Knicks, Chicago Bulls, Atlanta, Charlotte. We could name off. I'm losing track of all the crappy ass teams that are over there. So don't come in here talking trash when I will own your ass, man. I'm speaking truth. I'm speaking 100% truth. I'll troll you back. I don't care. I don't care how I'm on YouTube. I'll troll you back.
The 76ers are so lucky they're in the East, too.
Oh, dude. It would be so nice to be in the East, man. That would be fun, dude. It's like a pillow fight 2/3 of the games. You just kind of throw out a lineup out there of, you can throw out a mediocre lineup and still be competitive and still win games. And, dude, it'd be so much more stress-free to be in the East. I don't understand why they're coming over here trying to troll.
Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't even think about going in a 76ers post-game show and be like, oh, you blew a 21-point lead, you're trash.
It's just like that high school type of crap, man. Yeah. It's a high school type of crap. I'll respond to all these guys. I don't care. I'm feeling the fire in my soul right now. I'm down to entertain my guys, my Blazer fans in here having to deal with them too. JV team like the Blazers, right? Well, how much did we beat you guys last year, both games? How healthy were we tonight? Exactly. No, I'll feed the trolls. I'm feeding myself, man. That's the thing. We're going to get trolls throughout the season, and I will troll them back. If you guys don't want me to troll them back, let me know. If you guys just want me to ban them and hide their comments and they can still think they're commenting, that's kind of funny too. Or if you want me to troll them back, let me know. Because this is Blazer fan stream. You guys that have supported me since day one, this is your guys' stream.
Battle Rap Fire says y'all sound sad. Yeah, we are freaking sad. We blew a game that we had you guys beat.
Anthony Simons' game winner got wasted, bro. Of course we're sad.
You got lucky because our coach doesn't know basic, simple basketball strategy in the last 2 seconds. Congratulations, man. So what would you be thinking if you lost that game?
Wait, this guy just says, wait, you're a Niners fan crying over Blazers and got a Raptors hat on. Does this look like a Raptors hat to you? Are you tripping, bro?
It says Rip City.
Dude, this chat, man. It's late night hours. We're into the meat of the season already. Don't ban them. You guys like the entertainment? Last year don't matter. It's about this season. Okay. We're in game 6. And we were missing our top 4 centers. So, and you guys beat us by 1 off a buzzer beater by Furcon Korkmaz. Congratulations. Like, that's nothing to brag about. That's nothing to get super excited about. Enjoy your dude hitting a game winner. I don't know why you guys can't enjoy your guy hitting a game winner. Like, that's the thing. It's like people can't enjoy their win without like going out and gloating about it. It's like,
hey,
enjoy yourself.
I got this. So
I'll toss the mic to you.
All you 76ers fans, so you trust the process, suck for years. When was the last time you were out of the second round of the playoffs in the freaking Eastern Conference? Get out of the second round before you talk.
Don't bring up Kawhi on them, man. They'll have flashbacks. They'll have flashbacks, man. What happened last year? They're lucky Kawhi's gone.
Yeah.
Dude. They got cocky now that Kawhi's gone. Now that they know that Kawhi can't knock them out of the playoffs because they ain't gonna make the finals for Kawhi to knock them out of the playoffs. So they don't gotta have flashbacks like that. So
they're still not better than Milwaukee either.
Yeah, Milwaukee winning that conference. We control back with the best of them, bro. But that's truth too. You know what I mean? Like, we're just speaking truth right here. Dude, imagine the playoffs for these post-game live streams. Dude, like, in a win, in a loss, like, dude, it's going to be crazy, man. It's going to be the number 1 post-game live stream, win or loss, just because of the heat.
Yeah. I couldn't even talk after the 4 overtime one.
Doge Gaming says, "Hello, I remember when TJ McCollum and Jahlil Okafor were the best players on their team." Oh, man. Alrighty.
Did you block Brian Dawkins? Blocked my comments? What do you mean?
No, but I can. Here you go. Bye. Hide user on channel. Bye, Brian. Your wish is granted, my dude. Your trolling wasn't good enough to keep me entertained, so. We won a championship against the Sixers, so exactly, dude. We were celebrating that championship tonight. We want to, we can throw it back to that.
Yeah, when was the last time the Sixers did anything? 1983?
D-Dog says, "I honestly think Sixers fans came here because of their insecurities barely stealing a game from a team with no starting bigs." Oh, Embiid didn't play, bro. Okay, well, at least you had your number 2 center, who's Al freaking Horford, who's still a really good player. We were starting Anthony Tolliver at center.
And Mario Hezonja, power forward.
We're missing Zach Collins, Assad Whiteside. Pau Gasol would even be a good option to have right now. We're missing who's the other guy? See, I'm blanking. Who's the other center we're missing?
Gasol and
Nurkic. Yeah, we're missing Nurkic. See, I couldn't even remember Yusuf Nurkic, man. Like, come on now.
Yeah. Can't even get past the second round in the East. That's weak.
It's just like, man, you guys won a close game that we absolutely choked on the inbounds pass. Like, we basically handed you guys a game, and you guys are going to take it and then brag about how we handed you a game.
Embiid played in the playoffs last year. I saw him crying after Leonard made that shot.
Oh, dude. I don't understand how that fan base can try and troll like that, man. That's the thing. It's like, Warriors fans, I get it. Like, they're, won 3 championships in 5 years. Like, okay, you guys are winning championships. Sixers fans, I don't get it, man.
Who cares if the East won the championship? It wasn't you guys. You can't even get out of the second round.
Imagine bragging because your conference won the championship. There's 15 teams to a conference, my guy, not one. Also, if Golden State didn't get hurt, they're winning that championship. Look at the average seasonal record between West and East for the last 20 years. I don't think the East has had a better record. I don't think the East has had a winning record against the West in the last 20 years. Or maybe it's once in the last 20 years. It's awful. The East is always worse than the West. And people try to say, oh, well, they won the championship. Okay, that's one team out of your conference.
Okay, hold on just a second. I'm going to look up the Philadelphia 76ers playoff record since they won the title in 83.
Ink DD says, Embiid cried, but he learned from it and grew from it this year. I hope you don't mean grew up, because he definitely didn't. Couldn't even make it out of October before getting into a fight, missing games, and then spreading some toxic trash on Twitter or on Instagram or whatever the hell. He's already being childish. We didn't even make it into November yet. We're finally into November. Maybe now he'll calm down. Maybe now he'll grow up a little bit. We'll see.
Okay, I forgot about 2001. So 2001, they lost with the Iverson in the finals. Other than that, it's been 85 was the last time they made the conference finals.
85?
Yep.
How many conference finals have we made since then?
Well, we made 3, 90, 91, 92.
Yeah, and then we made the one in 2000.
And 99.
And 99.
And then last year.
And then we made the one last year, so that's 6. We've made 6 conference finals since the last time the 76ers made a conference finals.
And then,
when we made the conference finals last year. So, I mean, I guess this is what's most important to 76ers fans, They're not used to doing much, right. So I guess winning Game 6 against an injured, beat-up team is a pretty big deal to them, that they have to come in here and try and trash people. But yeah,
they haven't been out of the second round since 2001.
Yeah. Oh, no, 2001 was their only, yeah, that's right, since 1985, so once.
Yeah.
Okay, so once in the past. Yeah. Okay, once while we made it 6 times, yeah. I mean, we can get into all this pointless stuff. I mean, that seems how they want to fight, but I mean, but going back to this game, man, there's this Hood, CJ, and Dame got hot at the same time. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's just it's hard to talk about the good things that happened during this game because it was all spoiled by such a silly defensive coaching mistake. You know what I mean? So it's hard to even talk about it.
Man, I hope Hood's okay too. Gosh, he got hurt 3 times.
We're down our front. We're down our starting front court.
Yeah.
I mean, that just means Little might play some. That could be interesting against I don't know. Sit Hood out Monday against the Warriors. Because they got Draymond out now, Steph out now, Clay out now. D'Angelo Russell didn't even play tonight, so I don't know what he's dealing with.
But yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, we should be talking about the game. Why are we trash? Let's talk about how it was a great game. And I don't know.
Yeah, Blazers and Sixers are both good teams. The end. That's what Al Will said, and I agree. They're both good teams. I don't understand why these Sixer fans are more salty. I don't understand why they're salty when they won the game. It's kind of strange. Yeah, Doge Gaming, we're out here talking about basketball, my guy. Yeah, we got the football talk. I talked about football for 30 seconds. Now we're back to basketball. Dude needs to keep up.
There's several people mentioning this Nasir Little. I just don't think he helps.
I don't think he's really
right now. Yeah.
I mean, we might have to play him, and if it's against a team like the Warriors, that's a team we should beat. If they don't play D'Angelo Russell, especially, we should beat them because they're playing basically a G League lineup. They started Kai Bowman and Paschal, and it is Paschal, by the way. I was right on that pronunciation. Unless the Warriors announcers are getting it wrong, which is weird because he's a Warriors player. But they were starting Paschal and Willie Cauley-Stein and Glenn Robinson, Jordan Poole, and Kai Bowman was their starting lineup tonight. If we can't take care of that team, then yikes. But I don't think Warriors fans would be in there in our post-game comments talking trash. But then again, that's kind of what they do. So I don't know. That'd be interesting to see. But could maybe get by with resting Hood a game in Oakland. Maybe you don't mess up the rotation and you start Nasir Little. I'd also start Labissiere too, though. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't start Little. I'd probably start Hazonia.
We could probably get away with what we did tonight against them.
I'd maybe do Hazonia, Tolliver, and Labissiere. Shooting's kind of rough, but those three in the front court, and then keep Bazemore off the bench if that's where you want him. With Simons and with I don't know. It sucks, man. This is starting to remind me of that season where we had to start Juwan Howard when Juwan Howard was like 35 or whatever, when we had to start him for a stretch when we were super, super beat up.
And Hood if Hood doesn't get hurt and we would have went to him more, he should have had like 40 tonight.
Yeah. Battle Rap Fire says Blazers need some rest. LOL. I'm talking about rest for the dude that got hurt twice in the game, bro. I'm talking about the guy who took a cheap shot screen from Ben Simmons that wasn't called. Stuck his elbow out at him and like stepped out towards him and messed him up on that screen.
Ben Simmons is a flopper too.
Oh, I know. He flopped on that play he got fouled on. I was shocked he made those 2 free throws, dude. Of course he makes those 2 free throws. Dude's not a good free throw shooter. Like, oh, man.
He had one play, too, earlier where Hazonia got called for a foul, but he was just, like, dribbling up the court and fell over. But he tries to sell it like he got shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think as far as Little goes, I think Stotts will have Trent get a shot before he gives Little a shot.
Yeah. I'm still sick about this game, man.
Or bring in Horde. I don't understand why we're not.
Bringing somebody up? It doesn't make sense, man.
Because, okay, so I guess it depends on if Whiteside plays. I guess you could play, but...
Oh yeah, I mean, actually, Whiteside could definitely be back for that game.
So if we have Nurk, Gasol, and Collins all out, that only leaves us with 11 guys. So I don't understand why we're not bringing both Horde and Brown up.
That doesn't make sense. That's why you have those 2-way guys, right? In case of emergency.
Yeah.
To develop them, into like a project, they're long-term projects, but in case of emergency, you might need a body. Right now, we need a goddamn center, and we need a guy that's taller than 6'8". Labissiere's the only one, unless Whiteside plays, so... Here we go with the cliche talk by this Ink guy. 44% for the season, but he knew what he had to do, and he had to keep his confidence. It was a good game to watch. The throws, the score going up and down. You guys played well, and it was fun. It was fun, but I don't understand, like, you shoot with confidence, I guess, but dude probably shoots all his free throws with confidence and still shoots 44%. The thing is, guys that shoot 45% on free throws in NBA games can shoot like 80 to 90% in practice.
Yeah.
Like, these guys are shooting great in practice. So, like, it's I don't know, man. Like, that's what people say. Well, like, oh, well, he just shot those with confidence. It's like, dude's probably confident he's making free throws and just still missing them. You know what I mean? And it's like, you're not going to have more confidence when you're down 1 and have 2 free throws to shoot than you would in the middle of a game. You're going to have more confidence in the middle of a game because it isn't with the game on the line. So I don't understand that.
So Battle Rap Fire is saying Blazers need Carmelo Anthony, LOL. Blazers need Dikembe Mutombo, LOL. How is that funny? Why is that laughing out loud?
Hey, his own. It's the pressure, I think, honestly, from Ink D. For I don't know, some guys like that make 2 free throws under pressure, or shoot better under pressure. But even his own Sixer fan in here is calling him out, saying that he's giving Sixer fans a bad name. Yeah, man, this dude came in and just started trashing us. It's like, it's a good game. You guys won by 1. We made a mistake defensively. We were very injured. You guys didn't have Embiid. Neither team was at full strength. This doesn't mean either team is better long term. It was as even as you can get. You know what I mean? Korkmaz shoots that ball an inch further, we win the game. So I don't understand why there were so many Sixers fans coming in here and just being toxic and talking trash. It's like, just go and like enjoy your win or talk about the game. You know what I mean? Like I welcome opposing fans that want to talk about the game.
Yeah.
Opposing fans that don't want to troll, talk about your team. We can, it's interesting to hear opposing fans' opinions on the way our team plays. It's like an outside opinion. So I'm down with that. But you're just having fun, bro. Nah, you're being toxic, my dude. I know you're having fun, but you've been trolling. The thing is, trolling is usually fun for the troll, and that's about it. Shaq used to shoot better towards ends of games. It'd be interesting to see if there's like a stat on that for some guys. Blazers need Fareed. I agree. What do you think about Fareed? Would you pick him up right now, Eric?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't know what we're doing with that roster spot if we're not saving it for a time like this. I mean, the only thing I can think of is that the situations with Whiteside and Collins aren't that serious, but since Collins is having surgery, you have to think it's pretty serious. We need. I mean,
it might be like a more minor, because he did contemplate not even having surgery. So I'm wondering if the procedure is not as like invasive or not as much as like a normal dislocated shoulder. So maybe he could return in like 20 games. I think that's an optimistic timeline, but I wouldn't rule that out. That'd put his return around. Like the middle of December. Mid to late December, I think that might be a possible return date for Collins, which wouldn't be bad. We just got to win every game that we're in. Like, we got to win these games tonight because we have such a tough early season schedule and we're so hurt that anytime we have a 19 or 21 point lead or whatever, we got to finish that game off with a win. Anytime we're up 2 with 2 seconds left, we have to lock up for a defensive possession, switch screens because there's only 2 seconds left, make the right coaching decision, which is obvious to everybody but apparently Terry Stotts, and take care of these games. We should be 4-2 right now, going to Oakland with a really good chance to go 5-2. That would be huge to start off 5-2 with all these injuries and with we've played some decent teams so far. But instead, okay, well, hopefully we end up 4-3, and if we lose this game against Oakland, it's like we're 3-4 and we're hurt and starting to play a lot tougher teams. You know what I mean? Like, it feels so good to have taken care of this game, man. Against a good team. Without Embiid, they're still a good team. It would have been nice to win this game, especially off an Anthony Simons buzzer beater, dude. It's just like went from like one extreme to the other.
Because if we win Monday, we'd be 5-2, sitting pretty. Well, we might be talking about the higher end of your little breakdown video.
That's the thing. I'll reference that at some point. It's still too early in the season to reference that, but yeah, like based on I developed a 50-win pace based off strength of schedule, and after 17 games, if we're like 7-10 or 8-9 somewhere in there, we're on a like 50-win pace because those first 17 games we play a lot of really tough teams, and we play an absolute bucket load of road games. We haven't had a 2-game homestand yet. You know what I mean? This is our second home game of the year. Now we're going back on the road. So, it's just that would have been that would have been so nice to win that game off Anthony's shot, man. I was so happy for that guy, like hitting that clutch shot. Like, oh man, it's sad. This sucks.
So, I'm not a doctor or anything, but so I just was looking up like minor dislocation surgery and stuff. So most of what I'm seeing says it takes about 4 to 6 weeks for your shoulder to recover, which would put it in the time frame that you said. But
that would be like early to late December.
Yeah, but it says for athletes and sports, it's more likely it's a 3 to 4 month thing.
I was looking at a list of guys who have like had dislocated shoulders and had surgery on them, and like there was Avery Bradley returned in 10 games and he had a torn labrum and had surgery on it. There was guys that returned in 20. So like I feel like that isn't referencing necessarily like professional athletes.
Right.
I feel like that's referencing like high school athletes, college athletes. You know what I mean? Because like the rehab for professional athletes is absolutely legit.
Yeah.
And once Zach gets to the point where there's no further risk of re-injuring it, there's a really good chance that he'll be playing. If he's just, you know, still a little sore, but you know, it's his left shoulder. If it was his right shoulder, then it, like soreness would mess with his shot, but it's his left shoulder.
Yeah.
So if, you know, it's no further risk of re-injuring it, if it can keep healing while he plays without, you know, getting messed up again, then he'll probably be out there on the court, maybe with a little bit of a shoulder brace or something like Nick Batum used to have for a little while, because I think Batum did something with his shoulder. I don't remember what that was, but so I honestly think December's optimistic, but I think it's possible for Collins because they were debating just rehabilitating it. And I think if the recovery was 3 to 4 months for him, I think they might have chosen to rehabilitate it. So the fact that they were on the fence about it and then decided to go with surgery says to me that it might be a more optimistic timetable for his return than other dislocated shoulders. So I'm hoping sometime in December Collins comes back. That's my goal for him. Of course, I'm not a doctor, so it might be March. I don't know.
It could be. It could be that they were worried that the surgery was going to take too long, and they were hoping that a second opinion said that the rehab would be fine in this situation, and they were like, "No, surgery is needed," that's probably more likely in my opinion. But yeah.
Yeah.
So a best case scenario would be 4 weeks, probably. Worst case scenario, 4 months. Yeah. Sucks.
Yeah. Going back to chat, freaking Forcon. Freaking Forcon. And then Adam Versif, I thought the guy's name was Foreskin Corkmaz.
Yeah, if you're gonna troll, at least spell his name right. If you're a Sixers fan and can't even spell your own guy right, like that's
that's funny.
Just
Ink, I appreciate Ink, man.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm a Sixers fan myself, and seeing other fans of my team act like this is absolutely unnecessary. It's just not acceptable. I'm disgusted with how they're acting. I mean, yeah, I appreciate that, man. I mean, fans are going to troll. It's nothing that, you know, is shocking to me. Fans are going to talk trash, but I appreciate a fan of another team coming in here and being civil. Dude, like, you're welcome back in here after any game. We'll do our post-game live streams. A lot of our post-game live streams will talk about other NBA action as well. Usually those are in wins, and we'll go over, you know, games, and we'll talk about what our opinions are from games that night. So, you know, if that's something you're interested in, stick around. Appreciate you, bro. This channel isn't necessarily just for only Blazers fans. We do talk about some general NBA stuff. We have a podcast and all that we talk about some NBA things. So, appreciate, you know, fans of other teams that come in here and be civil, and just want to talk basketball instead of trying to rub our face in the dirt.
Yeah, it's fun to talk with other fan bases and get their opinions on stuff. But if you're just in here,
you frequently go to like other fan forums to see like what trade ideas they have that might involve Blazers or that type of thing. Like, so for sure. And the thing is, like, he's just saying, like, he's like, they're the POS fans that give us a terrible reputation. Philly has a bad enough rep as it is, and they just make us look worse and worse. Yeah, there's a lot of fans like that. I feel like we have a pretty respectable fan base. I feel like Blazer fans have a bit of a chip on their shoulder because national media experts always underpredict our record by like 8 to 10 games a season, and we always feel slept on, so we have a bit of a chip on our shoulder. But I feel like we don't really troll like other NBA fan bases troll. Like, we don't go out of our way to rub, we have our few bad apples, but I feel like we're not bad in that regard.
Right.
Philadelphia definitely seems like that, and I always wondered, like, man, what would it be like to be from a fan base that has a bunch of people that go out and just talk a ton of trash and are super toxic and try and rub like other fans' faces in the dirt when their team loses, because that would bother me, man. Like, yeah, I mean, that's kind of a East Coast thing. I feel like East Coast fan bases are a little bit more like that.
Yeah.
Other than the Lakers fan base, because Lakers fans are the worst.
Yeah, like, but if the Cavs beat us or something and they want to talk smack, like, because we lost to the
I'm gonna show this Caleb. Yeah.
Like, that's one thing, and they won a championship recently or something, but Philadelphia hasn't done crap lately. So what's like? There's no reason for them to get cocky.
Hey, Caleb Winter, don't tell Ink to leave. I can make you disappear in 2 seconds by pressing hide user on channel. That's what I just did. Bye. See you later. That's easy. I feel like I got a bunch of power when I can just hide all somebody's trash talk. They're trying so hard to trash talk, and I click on their name and I say hide user, and it's actually a really satisfying feeling. It's just like erase them from the chat. Like, I don't know. So anyway, if you guys got any questions left for us, we'll answer some questions. This has been an interesting post-game live stream. Definitely nice to sit here and vent. I like being able to vent so that I'm not angry the rest of the night. It's actually kind of therapeutic for me. I hope it's therapeutic for you too. That's kind of the goal with this. That's the thing. Like, I'm not going to not do a live stream because I'm mad about a loss. I hope that it's something that's therapeutic for you guys, and we can just sit here and just vent about the loss and, point out what went wrong, and then we can move on from the game, focus on the next game, and be in a better mood for the rest of the night. So that's kind of my goal with this. Like other post-game live streams are, this is probably a little bit more, what's the word? A little bit more emotional than other post-game live streams, but that's why. Like, you guys watch games emotionally, like me, like Eric, like we're invested in this. I'm invested in this because I have a whole channel that revolves around it. I was invested in it before my channel, but now it's like I'm constantly making content, constantly covering these guys. So I'm just going to be myself. If I'm mad, I'm going to be mad. If I need to vent, I need to vent. Hopefully it's, hopefully you guys can relate to it though. Relate to a true fan trying to bring you guys content, and, hopefully it helps you guys out.
Yeah, I had to watch myself because my 7-year-old was watching the end of the game with me, so I couldn't be as violent as I normally am. But
yeah, that's the thing, man. If I had a kid, I don't know if I could. I don't know, because you probably want your kids to be Blazer fans, right?
Yeah, of course. I'm not gonna force.
So you don't want to ruin that at a young age by being giving them anxiety because you're flipping a fridge down the hallway or whatever the hell you do when we.
Well, so I was like, "There's 10 seconds left. Watch this," and he hit Simon's hit that shot, and he was like, "Awesome, they're gonna win" or whatever, and then he hit that shot.
Welcome to Blazer fanhood. Okay. This is how it is. Heartbreak.
Yeah.
If you and Eric could pick the top 5 Blazers of all time, who would it be? Dame, Clyde, Bill Walton's top 3, obvious, I think. Other 2. Brandon Roy got me into basketball, so it's hard to leave out him, but he wasn't here long. And I'm a younger guy, so I missed a whole era of Blazers basketball. I missed, a couple decades. I'm trying trying to watch footage here and there and educate myself more on how teams were back in the 80s, whatnot. But
Terry Porter would definitely be up there.
Terry Porter for sure. I'd put Brandon Roy there. That would be my top 5.
I'm a big Maurice Lucas guy, but
oh yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, that's the thing.
Really
it's hard.
With Walton and Roy, they had such short times on the Blazers. It's hard to. I don't know. I don't know how you measure longevity versus winning a MVP and a title and all that stuff. We've talked about that before, comparing Lillard as the best Blazer of all time or not. But yeah, I definitely say your first 3 of Lillard, Drexler, and Walton are for sure, and then I'd probably put Porter and Lucas in there, but I understand Roy too.
Yeah. Brandon Roy, that's the thing with Roy, is it's just kind of an emotional connection for me, so it's hard to leave him out, even though he might not have had the impact of a Maurice Lucas.
As much as I hate him too, LaMarcus is probably in the conversation.
Hell no. What did that guy accomplish?
Nothing.
That guy didn't accomplish anything. Dame came and hit a game winner to win LaMarcus one series in Portland, and then LaMarcus left the year after. So
he did win 2 of those games basically by himself, though.
Zacho Calipano, will the Blazers ever have a game that doesn't give Blazer fans a heart attack? Every game has been super close this year. Let me read off the margins of victory. If my app will work.
We lost by 8 to Denver. We lost.
That was the biggest margin of victory in a game against us.
We won by 2 over Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
We won by
Here, I'll pull up the schedule. I got
5 or 7.
Okay, the Kings was the only game.
Yeah.
The Kings was the only like double-digit game. So we lost to the Nuggets by 8, beat the Kings by 10, beat the Mavericks by 2, lost to the Spurs by 3, beat the Thunder by 3, and lost to the Sixers by 1. So the last 4 games have been the last possession type of games. Hopefully the Golden State game is not a last possession type of game because I need a blowout win. It would be fun to relax and feel good about a 20-point lead. And I feel like that Golden State team is so bad right now that might be the only team where I'd feel good with a 20-point lead against right now, which is actually kind of crazy because it's freaking Golden State in Golden State. It's still weird to me, but I would just love to relax and chill and enjoy a game, enjoy Anthony dropping buckets, enjoy Skal Labissiere actually playing the minutes he deserves, and us getting a 20-point win before we go on the road against the Clippers, which is going to be stressful. Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, if you've been a Blazer fan for years, you know that they come back when they shouldn't, when they're down big, and they blow leads when they shouldn't, like tonight, and it's frustrating, and every game is pretty much like this. But
yeah, I mean, it was super stressful for me because it's my last day in this room. For anybody still watching, this is my last day in this room, and then I'm moving stuff tomorrow into a place where I don't want to stay, but it's kind of my only option at that point. So this was super stressful. Like I needed this win. Like personally, I needed this win. So yeah, like stress is at an all-time high for me with my life. So really would have been nice for the Blazers to make it a little bit easier, but of course they can't switch. So
someone asked why we didn't mention Jerome Kersey. He was a great player to watch, a hustle guy, terrific role player. He is not one of the top 5 greatest players ever, though. I love the guy, though.
If you're talking about top 5 hustle players that we've had, he would be top 5 for sure. But in terms of just top 5 overall players, do we live in Portland? I live in Vancouver. He lives out past Hillsborough, like way out there, in the sticks. I live in the Couve. I love Vancouver. I love this town. I love like the whole Portland area, but I love living in Vancouver. Is that the thing where I said I got screwed over or something? I didn't think I'd have internet for the whole past week. It kind of revolved around that, and that's why I postponed. That's why I didn't do a couple streams, and I don't know. That was me venting. I'm not gonna go completely into my personal life, but I gotta move out and live in a basement for about a month until I can rent my own place. I also got financially screwed over today out of possibly $1,000 next month. I'm not gonna go into any more detail about that. It's nothing sketchy, nothing bad. I'm a straight dude, straight up dude. Don't do anything. I'm not selling drugs or anything like that. But I probably got screwed out of $1,000 today, so that put that made things tough for me. So I'm trying to get you guys this content, but my life is super stressful. It's super crazy. It's a lot to handle right now. So that's also why I came on that post-game live stream with an edge, because that loss after everything that I've been through this past week and a half was tough. So
if it makes you feel any better, I lost $5 because the Blazers blew that stupid.
Oh, you lost $5? I lost out on probably $1,000.
The Blazers have been pretty good to me betting so far.
Yeah.
Because even the game they lost to San Antonio, they were 6.5-point underdogs or something, so they covered the spread.
Yeah, for me and any the people watching the stream at this point are diehard supporters, so yeah, I just don't, I don't know. I want to be just personable to you guys, and I don't know. Sometimes I vent on Twitter about stuff happening in my personal life, but I also don't mind talking about stuff I got going on in my life to you guys. I like just being somebody you kind of know. But I also am not going to go like completely into some of the stuff I deal with, because then I feel like if I'm advertising helping me out on Patreon or something, then it's almost like I'm using the stuff that I'm dealing with personally to try and get you guys to like feel like you need to donate on Patreon, or like make you guys. I don't want it to be like I'm trying to make you guys feel bad for me so that you'll donate to me on Patreon, if that makes sense. Because like that's something that I've advertised a lot in the past, and honestly that's why I haven't been advertising Patreon lately. But I don't know, I just don't want to. I don't know, perception, handling a perception with YouTube is kind of weird. It's kind of something that there's really no like guidebook to, and it's for pretty much every YouTuber. Like once they start out, it's new. So there's, I don't know. I don't really know where I'm going with this. I'm just kind of speaking my mind.
Yeah. One thing I wrote down that we haven't talked about yet is Jody Allen was there again. And
yeah, that was good to see.
I don't think she's selling the team. She is into this team, and
no, she ain't selling the team.
She even gave the 3-point signal when Dame hit a 3 in the fourth quarter.
And she might be selling the team after tonight, though.
No, she was actually she like gave everyone a high five as they left the court tonight, even though they lost. So yeah. I'm just really encouraged by that. She's been a great owner.
She seems
so
pretty
far.
positive.
Yeah.
She seems like a positive owner that's not,
yeah.
going to be too frustrated with losing. On the flip side, though, like, she isn't going to be like, what the hell? Why didn't we switch Terry?
Right.
What was that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where, like, Paul would probably be like, why didn't we switch there? And probably be mad about the loss. So, you know what I mean? Like, there's positives, there's negatives with it. Ink said, can we agree that the Sixers are 100% a second-half team? I haven't watched them enough to say they are a second-half team.
Yeah.
And it's too early in the season to say they are a second-half team. Blazers have been a bad second-half team. They've been a bad third-quarter team. That's why it was nice that we had such a big third quarter. A big problem with the Blazers that I haven't mentioned tonight is they are finishing quarters horribly. They'll have great quarters and then finish quarters horribly. And I think that's kind of like situational basketball sometimes. Like I don't know. For some reason, we tend to, like, once the clock gets under 2 minutes, and this was the case in the second and third quarters, we tend to, like, slow down our offense a lot and just kind of take the air out of the ball and get a little bit more sloppy with it. And it's almost like teams start to make a run, and then it might get to the point where, like, okay, maybe Stas should call a timeout, but it's at the point where there's still, like, there's only a minute left, so it's kind of like, okay, let's wait until the quarter ends, and we keep letting other teams make their run.
Yeah, there was a point tonight where we had the ball. There was 23 seconds left. The shot clock was at 18 or something. So I think worst case scenario, we get the ball, or they get the ball with like 5 seconds usually, if we hold it. So they got the ball with about 8 seconds left, hit a 3, and then we step on the inbound. Dame steps on the inbound pass, throwing it in, and they didn't make the shot. But they potentially could have gotten 5 or 6 points in 8 seconds of having the ball. Like that should never happen. Like that's amateur mistakes right there.
Yeah.
No full court pass is ever worth giving the team another shot with 2 seconds left. Like you should just. I'd rather them not shoot the ball in that situation. Even though I hate when people don't shoot it, but like it's still better than turning the ball over.
Yeah.
And it didn't really hurt us tonight, but most of the games this year we've been in the penalties super early in quarters, and we've been shooting a lot of free throws, or they've been shooting a lot of free throws, and that hurts at the end of the quarter when we commit a stupid foul and it's away from the ball, and then they get free throws even though they didn't deserve it necessarily.
Yeah. Doge Gaming says, Tori, weren't you a Sixers fan? No. Never been anything but a diehard Blazers fan, so is my camera feed not working? Okay, my app was glitching.
It looks like it's working.
Okay, I don't know why it's frozen on my end.
Yep.
I got my comments in my stream up, so Monopo Man says, there we go, signed up for your Patreon. That sob story got me. He said he at the end of that. Oh man, I don't know, man. It's just Patreon's a way you guys can support me a little bit, and this is the thing. It's like you know, I like putting out content that people can find for free. Like that's something cool. You know what I mean? Like also though, it's like I work so hard on this, it'd be nice to be able to make an income where I wouldn't have to like do too much outside of this in order to live a sustainable life, so that I could put more effort and more time into this. So like Patreon's there for people that want to like help me with that. Because I mean, shoot, you think about it, if every subscriber donated $1, it would that's $2,500 a month. That's like, you know what I mean? That's cool, but I don't expect anyone to, because it's free content. It shouldn't be anything but free. So it's just kind of tricky to work around that, because I don't want to, offend somebody or make people think like, oh, you're just doing this to try and get money, because I'm not. It's just, real life. Real life is is a pain, and gotta make money, and it'd just be fun to be able to focus on this and just get you guys a bunch of content and have a sick streaming studio and all that. So hopefully in the future, that's a thing. But anyway, I appreciate the donation on Patreon. Yeah. Ink said, I was kind of shocked Dame wasn't as dominant in 3-point shooting in the fourth quarter. That's usually when he's the most dominant. He was 6 for 6 to start the second half too. He couldn't really get shots off. That was a good defensive adjustment by the 76ers, is running two guys at him and trapping. And, of course, Terry Stotts didn't really have an answer.
Well, his answer was to take out the one person that was getting him open.
Yeah.
Because he was they were setting the screen higher, and Dave was coming around that screen, and he had...
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like you take out that big guy, your screens aren't going to be as good. Yeah. I don't know. Yep. That was a good pass by Dame to trust Anthony in the corner.
Yeah.
We haven't really talked about that last play. I mean, it was smart to have all shooters out there. I liked Stotts' lineup for that play. Found Simons open in the corner for 3. I mean, that was like a big shot. That was Dame trusting the young guy and him coming through, and it just sucks that got wasted, man. That's tough.
Do you think they maybe went a second or two too early?
No, because you should be able to defend a team with 2 seconds left on an inbounds. And if they hit some crazy shot, you know what I mean? Like, the thing is, Korkmaz was shooting off the catch anyway, so it didn't matter if they had 0.4 left. You know what I mean? It's hard to like it's hard to time a kick out pass at the buzzer.
Yeah. Well, too, if you shoot it early and they get the rebound, you foul, you still have, because we still had a timeout, so we could have had 2 seconds still to make a 3 to tie it if they hit both free throws. But
yeah. Brian Scalabrini says, constant pick and roll is starting to get annoying and boring. LOL. Yeah, it's been something I've been complaining about for a couple years, 2-3 years now. So much pick and roll. I know that's like a staple of our offense. Dame's great with pick and roll, but like we got to have different wrinkles so that when teams are defending the pick and roll well, we can go to something else. When we aren't hitting threes, we can go to something else. Like that's the thing. We don't move off of like shooting a bunch of jump shots and a bunch of pick and roll when they're not working. It almost seems like we do them more when they're not working. It's strange.
Yeah, I mentioned this earlier. Like, it was working tonight. Skal was getting easy bucket after easy bucket, and if not, Dame was wide open on the 3. So like, but then we went away from it with 7 minutes left in the fourth, and we didn't run it again the rest of the game. Like, so of all times,
I thought we ran it. I thought we looked to run it a bit like down the stretch with Skal out of the game, but they were kind of running that second big up high, and we were struggling with it. And then we didn't really have an answer on those possessions where we did decide to do it.
They did.
If that makes sense.
They did one where, like CJ came and tried to pick, but it didn't work. I think that might have been the time he got fouled, actually. But see, Skal is so like lanky that it's easy to find him on that slip. So if Dame gets double teamed, we talked about this on one of our last podcasts, that if he gets more aggressive, like that middle is wide open. He could have a wide open, 10 to 15 foot jumper anytime he wants it. If he gets aggressive going towards the rim, he had one where he got the ball towards the top of the paint and like backed his guy down and did a little spin move and hooked it in. Like he has the skills to do that out of that double team. We just, for some reason, didn't want him in the game.
Makes no sense to me, man. Didn't make sense to me when I made that video about how Labissiere needs more minutes. It doesn't make sense to me. Still stress me crazy. Yeah.
Also,
Ink. What were you gonna say?
With 0.4 seconds left, why do we do the Dame Houston game winner too? Like, why not throw it towards the rim?
Didn't even get it off in time.
Yeah, like Skal had a guy on him. I think he had Simmons or someone on him. He could have faked like he was going to pick and spun back towards the hoop, and they could have just
try and get something towards the rim, because you only got 0.4 seconds. Yeah. We didn't even try and get anything towards the rim. Stotts just went to his one inbounds play in clutch time, which is to throw the ball to Dame near half court. The coaching. God, dude. It's so frustrating. I mean, Zach Calipano, why does Stotts take out the hot hand a lot? He took out Rodney when he was hot tonight. Skal Labissiere was playing good, and his minutes were weird in the fourth. Played Anthony Toller in favor of Skal Labissiere. It doesn't make sense at all, man. And I'm glad that my community is a lot of them are on board with me. Or a lot. I don't know if they saw these things before, or maybe they're starting to see some of the things that I'm talking about. If I'm starting to point things out and they're actually noticing it and starting to question stuff because of it, I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Just because I'm able to explain my point of view well enough where people are actually seeing what I'm seeing on the court. But Ink DD says, when that three was hit from the corner with a few seconds left by you guys, I got really scared, honestly. It was a fear factor by Philly after that shot by you guys. Imagine how that Korkmaz shot fell for us, man. That was heartbreaking after that. That was heartbreaking, man.
The sad thing, too, is we're a couple of Dame fourth quarters away from being 1-5 right now or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, but that's the thing. Without Dame, we're a trash team anyways.
But what I'm saying is, if people think that there's good coaching this year, the only thing that saved us is Dame hitting some incredible 3-pointer shots against some average teams. Otherwise,
and the thing is, dude, this argument, because Dame had a huge fourth quarter against, I think it was Dallas, and we pulled out a very close win, and somebody was saying oh, look at that comeback, that's great coaching. They made 3 straight contested fadeaway threes. It was against the Spurs, the one we barely lost, but we came back in.
Yeah.
Oh, Stotts left his starters in the game. That's great coaching because they almost came back. That's your bar for great coaching, is literally just playing your starters in the fourth quarter and having Damian Lillard hit a bunch of contested fadeaway threes. Is that's seriously the standard for great coaching now? It wasn't good coaching at all. Yeah, they came back. Okay, some people would have taken out the starters and Stotts didn't, and they almost came back. Okay, that's not great coaching for me. They ignore the third quarter where our shot chart is a bunch of missed shots outside the paint, and the majority of shots were outside the paint because we shot 10 jumpers in a row and didn't run a set that had us a chance getting to the rim. They'll ignore that, and if I point that out, they'll be like, oh, you just want to complain about Stotts, but then they'll say it's great coaching when we come back because Damian Lillard goes into God mode and does everything by himself and hits a bunch of pull-up contested threes. How's that good coaching?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And once again, we're not saying that the coach is going to be replaced or looking for replacements. We know it's not going to happen.
Best available coach is David Yeager. I mean, I don't know. That's the thing. It's hard to kind of tell what a coach's strengths and weaknesses are unless you watch them game in, game out. But I would love to see a different type of coach, or just to see this coach, just to see this roster, just to see Dame and CJ under a different coach.
Yeah.
Tori and Eric, if you guys were somehow to work with the Blazers, are you guys willing to stop saying the bad things about the game? I think he means if we were to work for the Blazers, would we have more of a filter?
If this was the official post-game show?
Yeah. Dude, I wouldn't want to not be honest. It would be very hard for me. Also, for my brand and for my life, you know what I mean? I'm kind of in a tough position financially, and I'd be getting paid, so it'd be Like, I'd try and work around it in a way. I would try and figure out how to be like as like honest as possible without getting in trouble with whoever I was employed by.
So I'm kind of like that too. So I would definitely still mention that I didn't understand how we didn't switch in that situation, like, and break that down. But I wouldn't say it in such a like negative, pissed off way. Like we came on here.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
Ink Double D said Brett Brown almost got fired last year until the players backed him up like crazy. That's the thing is Dame and CJ will always go to bat for Stotts, but that's the only coach they've played under. They don't know another coach. So this is what they know in terms of NBA coaching. So I don't feel like they're, they're players, but I don't feel like they have another coach to reference against Stotts. And I also feel like Stotts is such a player's coach that guys are going to go to bat for him, even though like he might not be the best coach. So you definitely see that. I mean, Giannis backed up Jason freaking Kidd in Milwaukee, who was a horrible coach. They brought in Mike Budenholzer, took that team to a completely new level, even though Giannis was saying that, no, don't let Jason Kidd go. Don't let Jason Kidd go. Jason Kidd was a horrible coach in Milwaukee. So every time I hear the argument like, oh, Dame and CJ know best and they like Stotts, it's like I can point to Giannis backing up Jason Kidd, even though they still fired him and then replaced him with an obviously much, much better coach. So that's the thing.
If you take a guy like CJ, why would he want another coach right now? Like he isn't held accountable at all for anything he does on the court. So.
Dude, imagine CJ playing this way under Popovich.
Yeah, dude, he'd get killed.
Dude, Popovich would go off. It makes CJ a better player, though. So it's like, do you want to be a better player? Yes or no? Like, we trying to win a championship? Work on the things that you've struggled at. Improve on them. Instead of just practicing ISO ball moves. Like, if we're talking about championship, like this roster seems to be, they seem to be obsessed with using the word championship now. They used it all throughout the preseason media day. They're like, oh, we haven't talked about it before because we hadn't really done much. Now we made the Western Conference Finals. Now we need to, like, take it to that next level. We've seen it. Okay, well, you've seen it. Improve on those weaknesses. Dame does so, I think. Dame works on everything. You can tell. He takes everything seriously. CJ is just like, okay, I want to see if I can add a new isolation move, or I want to add a new scoring move and work on my jumper so I can just score a bunch of points. Like, dude, work on your passing, work on your situational awareness, work on your defensive awareness, work on the other parts of your game other than scoring the ball.
Yeah. Well, so this offseason, we obviously retained Hood. And so I was like actually thinking this during the game, like, man, what a great move to like be able to keep that guy. And like, like this is like, if he plays like this, we're like championship level. And then we have Hood or Skal and Simons coming on. Like even with the loss of Zach, like this team is sitting in really good shape. And then like, other than coaching, like what happened? Like I don't understand what else you can blame a loss like that on.
Yeah. I mean, like our defense wasn't great, but I feel like they missed a lot of shots. Ink Double D, the Sixers fan, says Korkmaz shouldn't have hit that shot at all. Korkmaz was rated one of the worst in the league, and he was hitting contested threes that in no way, shape, or form should have gone in. Korkmaz was struggling to Korkmaz was missing bad during the third quarter. I remember he had a stretch where he wasn't close to making anything. And then when I saw Korkmaz catch the ball in the corner, I pretty much knew it was going in, because it's like, of course this is going to happen to us. Like, dude, I feel like it's happened against us so much in the past. And even before they ran the out-of-bounds play, it's like, watch, this is going to be like the Washington Wizards game last year where Nick Stauskas hit that three to put us up, and then they got a wide-open shot because of horrible last possession defense. And I was thinking about that before that play happened, like, watch, it's going to happen again. And then Korkmaz, of course, was wide open in the corner because we don't switch, and when he catches it, like, yep, here we go again. This dude, he hasn't been able to make anything, but of course he's going to hit this. That was the feeling I had. Like, it's, instantaneous feeling. But that's the feeling I have when he catches the ball. Of course it goes in, and I'm just like, Terry Stotts, the hell, man.
I was just thinking, how is he that wide open? Like, Seriously?
Dude, of course he is, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyway, yeah, I'm going to wrap up this stream. Thank you guys for tuning in. Funnily enough, we had our highest viewership of any post-game stream. We almost had 100 viewers at once. Curious to know how many of those were Sixers fans. Thanks to Ink Double D. Hope to see you around, my dude. Even though you're a Sixers fan. I know Blazer fans are frustrated. I can't even talk. See, that's why I need to wrap this thing up.
Yeah.
I know the Blazer fans are frustrated tonight, so hopefully I helped you guys therapeutically. Hopefully I was like, you're a crazy therapist who rants at you instead of you talking, but somehow it still helps you. But yeah, so I think that's it, unless you have anything to add, Eric.
No, thanks for listening, guys. Even
All
if you're
right,
Sixers fans.
Hey, Ink Double D, man, I like that dude. It would be cool to have fans from other teams tuning in. I appreciate it, man. So good night, Doge Gaming. Good night to all you guys, all you diehard Blazers Uprise fans who have been with us from the start. Tuning into these live streams, I appreciate it. We'll be back on Monday. I might drop a couple videos tomorrow, but I'm moving, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. It might be a couple quick, like 2-3 minute videos. And then Monday should be able to have our podcast, but I'm not sure. That'll be before the Golden State game. And then hopefully we'll have the post-game live stream for the Golden State game. That's kind of the plan right now. I should be able to get a Monday mailbag out. I've kind of been waiting on the mailbag until Monday because I want to get that back to Monday. So that's the plan with everything in the next couple of days for the channel. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. This has been Tori. I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Go Blazers.